As promised, in studio with us is the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented, and what else did your mom ask me to say?
Kind-hearted.
Kind-hearted, yes.
And incredibly talented.
Yes, I think I said talented.
I know, but I needed to say it again.
Okay, there it is. We have Natalie Deutsch, listing agent with Hatch Realty. Natalie, good to have you on the show, and you look more tan than me today. Why is that?
Oh, I just got back from Jamaica, man.
Oh, and 2 weeks down there?
Yes, we were there for 2 weeks, which was fantastic.
Well, you traditionally go from white to pink, and you've gone from white to pink to like savagely tan now.
Yeah, so. It's probably the first time in my life that I've actually been tan instead of pink or bright red. So it's nice. It's nice. It won't last long, but
okay,
at
well,
least it's here for now.
Well, I'm glad your February glow is happening. and we talked at the top of the hour, Natalie. I know you were in studio, and you heard me say that things are heating up and things actually feel like spring right now. Tell me what you're seeing, because you work with people who are selling their house, right?
Yep.
You don't work with buyers. You work just exclusively with people who are selling their homes. And what are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing a lot more people that are really prepping early this year. Giving people who are planning to list even late summer are having us come out and look at the home and give them suggestions on what they need to do to get prepared to list. Usually we start seeing people come in around March or April to do a summer list, but people are starting a lot earlier this year, which is great. It makes me think that that we're going to have a really big spring. And I think just being prepped and knowing what you need to do to your house early gives you all the time where you're stuck inside anyways, so you can get those projects done now.
Now, I know each house is going to be unique in and of itself, but what is it that people traditionally need to do to get their house ready, whether you're selling in the spring, summer, fall, or winter?
It's typically those things that you constantly have put off, seeing dings on the wall that when you moved in the furniture 10 years ago that you just still have never fixed.
I feel like you're in my house right now.
Yeah, right. It's just small things that you say, oh, that's something that we'll get to later. Now is the time to really get to them. So then that way, when you are ready to list, we can definitely just walk in and get it taken care of. Mm-hmm. Typically, those big, huge remodel projects are going to be ones that we really have to decide if it's going to make a difference with your equity. So if you still have these huge plans to do a big kitchen remodel, but we can still get you a really good price on the home at the state that it's in, because we'll give somebody the option to do it themselves. We might tell you to go that way as opposed to putting in all the money to customize it yourself.
Natalie Deutsch again with Hatch Realty in studio with us. And I use the word prepacking with clients instead of decluttering, right? Mm-hmm. Be honest with me, because you go into houses all the time and you see what's happening. Before somebody's ready to list, how much crap is too much crap? Like people need to decide, like, when is your house pleasantly plump and when is it just too much stuff?
I think if you are using the word crap, there's already too much of it. So
I was being facetious.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I always, say the less is better. So if you have items that you can live without, get them out of the house. If you can pre-pack, it's going to make your life a lot easier when you finally move. But, appliances on the kitchen counters are always a huge eyesore, I think, in
You're
photos.
talking a toaster,
blender,
a griddle,
mixer, a magic bullet, along with a waffle maker. We don't need to see all those things out. We want to give people an open space to really imagine how they're going to live. And I feel like those are things that are often left out, where we want to give everybody a clean slate when they're walking into your home. So closets, we don't necessarily, photograph those or focus on those, but when a buyer's walking in and the first thing they see when they open a closet is just stuff staring at them in the face, it's really hard for them to visualize themselves filling that space up. Mm-hmm. It's more so like, whoa, these people have some work to do. So
Right. And I think the final piece on that are personal pictures, family photos, because that's what makes it your home, right? That's what gives people such a great energy when they walk into the house, because they see the life and the experiences that have happened all within those four walls. What do you say to people who have personal pictures up?
I typically tell people to take them down, just because of the fact that we do want people to imagine themselves living in the home, not necessarily visualizing how the family that's currently living there, how they've spent the time in their home, just more so how the new family or the new person will be able to make that house their own. It's also human nature to just kind of look at those photos and be like, ooh, do I know that? Hey, that's my cousin. And then they start, connecting the house to the person. We really want them to visualize it as their own home, and instead of them focusing on the people that live there.
I've been doing this game for a while now, and every time I step into a house, if I'm showing it with clients, and it doesn't happen too often anymore, but when I do, I look at pictures. It's funny, like my habit should be to look at houses, but I want to see, like, hey, do I know these folks?
Right.
And,
Yep.
and when you do, that can be good or bad, right?
Yeah, it's the same with fridge magnets. People walk in and then they're focusing, oh, these people travel a lot. Wow, they've been here. No, let's look at the kitchen, guys. Like, let's see if the space is going to work for you. So less distractions, I think, is always great. And I think travel photos and just general art pieces are great to have up to really give life to the room. But I always say to just kind of stay away from the personal photos.
I appreciate that. Unless it's a photo of you or me, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, I give every client a portrait of myself to hang up and,
Oh, I hope somebody holds you to that. I know Connie Deutsch is listening right now saying, Natalie, I want one of those portraits. Final thing, Natalie, is 2018 is poised to be, I think, a different year than 2017. So let's give you a history here, folks. 2016 was a strong year in real estate, and 2017 was like the exact same year as 2016. Like they were within like 30 homes selling on the entire market. Now, 2018, you said spring is poised to be a really big time. Tell me more about what you're seeing and the trends that people should expect in 2018, because I think your intuition is correct on that, Natalie.
Well, I think just seeing so many people reaching out early makes me believe that they're definitely going to be moving in the springtime, more so than people who want to get on the market right after school gets out.
Right.
And so I think just having the conversations and the appointments that I've had, it does have a totally different feeling than it did at this time last year. People are excited. They're doing what they can to get the most equity out of their homes. And I think, just being prepped for that is super important. And it's almost, it's an exciting time because you can tell that people are really ramped up and excited to do it themselves. But then also we've got people who've been sitting on the back burner since last year because they decided that they didn't want to move in the winter. They decided that they weren't ready to do it. And so I get phone calls on a daily basis of being like, hey, just another month before we list. What else can we be doing right now to make us most successful on the market? So it's definitely a different feeling than last year. So I'm excited.
Our world isn't always the world, and yet we know that our world is telling us that it's going to be a great 2018. So if you're selling or thinking about selling, there's a good chance you should probably start the conversation with us. Again, the process takes a while, and we want to make sure that we honor your timeline and maximize the dollars in your pocket. So please reach out to us at Hatch Realty, 701-369-4839. We're going to head to break and be back in just a moment. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.